So this recording, I am actually targeting people who don't like programming in general. So it's either pseudocode or Python. If you are studying IGCSE and you are facing trouble finding ways to actually get more marks in the scenario questions, which is a 15-mark question that comes on the official exam. So here is actually it's challenging question because it's quite difficult, and not most of the students actually don't really finish it. So, and it need really a good programmer to be able to answer that question. So so far, from what I have seen, there is no standard procedure that we are able to follow to actually try to maximize the amount of marks that we get. Here, I'm not trying to explain the programming technique, okay? I'm just trying to focus on how can you get the maximum amount of marks out of that question. So I try to formulate a technique where you are able to convince the examiner that actually you deserve marks. So he will give you marks for definitely every correct code that you write. I understand that certain things, people who are not good at programming, either pseudocode or Python, will not be able to do it. So, but let us focus that we try to maximize the amount of code correct code we are able to list and write. So let us go through this through a step-by-step approach that we're able to apply for all the scenario questions. So I am going to actually explain. I will take one scenario question. I will try to explain that how this step-by-step approach is going to work on that question, and then we can try to later, if this video series actually got some attention, then I will try to make it for other scenario questions and try to test the strategy if it really works on other questions. But so far, from what I've seen, yeah, it's seemed that one of the only available ways that people present it as a way of getting more marks. So so we're going to look at this exam question. The first thing we're going to do is actually we will list down all the variable names that we have here. So for example, I'm not going to explain more about this question here. I'm going to do it in a later video, but at the moment, let us look. So if you look here, you see that the rooms is a 1D array. So we consider rooms as actually one of the first variables available or listed or given to us in this exam question. So dimensions is a 2D array. So it is a variable name for a 2D array, okay? And what else? So if you look also here, you will see that there is a variable called number, which is also most probably is an integer. That is we're going to use. So the first thing is we need to find out all the variable names. That is very important for us because any code or template that we're going to actually improve or modify, we have to use that variable names to make sure that we are able to get the correct marks or enough marks for the code that we are actually going to write. Okay, so I will stop here. Let us continue on the next video.